Hi, this is LUKEZ, and today I'm going to show you how to do this cool dubstep intro. This intro was done for my friend Chaos Inagi, which he is going to use in his YouTube videos. You can check out his channel for some awesome game montages. So make sure you check it out. The link is in the description. So I'm going to show you what we are going to obtain once we finish this tutorial. As you can see, it is a very short intro, but it has some really good stuff in it. Obviously, I'm not going to work with the same logo and the same text, but we are going to do the same effects. So let's begin. First of all, open After Effects, as we are going to create it in After Effects. Double click here, and let's first make a new composition. New composition, name it Comp 1 or Part 1. Let's make it Part 1. We'll make it 15 seconds about that, so we make sure we don't go over. Press OK, and we have the composition. So it is black, obviously. Now, first thing is to import the file. So double click here and import the files that I will put in the description. You have the music file and the logo. Obviously, you can change them to whatever stuff you like. So first, let's go and drag the music into the composition right here. And first of all, we have to separate it, because we will have two different compositions. So let's play it by go into the RAM preview. We can see the waveform here. The music file that opens After Effects has a very small bug. Just go here with the marker. Let me zoom. Just go here in the marker in this space and remove that part, because that is a repeated part, and drag the music at the beginning. Let's drag it a bit more so that it begins once we play it, exactly like that. Now so that is the music file. So now we have to time it and split the music file. Somewhere like that before this part begins. Therefore, we are going to go here about 121 and press Ctrl Shift and D, and we split it. We can delete the top part for now. We are then going to work on it later. So for now we have this part. We can drag this yellow bar, small bar right here, and right click and choose Trim to Comp Area, so that we make the area a bit smaller. Now the next thing is to convert this audio file to keyframes. So to do that, it is very easy. We have to apply a small effect. So go to the Effects and Preset window right here on the right, and write bass only, and the bass and treble effect will appear. Just drag that effect onto the music file. This window will pop up. Change the bass to 100 and the treble to -100. And afterwards that is done, go to select the layer, importantly, go to Animation, Keyframe Assistant, and convert audio to keyframes. So After Effects created this audio amplitude layer. So we have to change some things in it as well. So select the layer and press U, and the left channel, right channel, and both channels will appear. select the left channel and right channel by holding the shift key and press delete, and we delete them because we are going to use only the both channels. So that is done as well. Now the next thing is to add some things. So let's go ahead and create the text. Sorry, first of all we have to create the background, a very simple background. So drag a rectangle by choosing the rectangle tool, and we are going to fill it with a radial gradient right here, and let's go ahead and change the color. So I'm going to use something very simple. Let's use a dark blue. So right here, and now we have to increase a bit the gradient. Something like that should do. A very simple background. Now the next thing is to add the text and some effects to it as well. So go into the text tool and write whatever you like. I'm going to write LUKEZ tutorials in white, obviously, so that it contrasts a bit. Make it a little bit small, not exactly from one end to another, as we are going to increase the size in a moment. So put it in the center, something like that should do. Now the next thing is to apply an effect to this text. So we're going to apply a shattering effect. So go into the effects and presets window again and write shatter, and the shatter effect should come up. Just drag it onto the text and this panel will appear. So let's change some few things right here. So the view, change it to rendered. The shape, change it to whatever you like. I'm going to choose glass. The repetitions, increase them to 47.9. The direction, leave it as it is. The force, make it depth 0.1, radius 0.57, and strength, make it 4.4. The force 2, leave the depth 0.1, the force 0.0, and the strength, make it minus 2.8. Obviously these are my preferences. Obviously you can change them to whatever you like. The most important thing is to change select the physics and change the gravity to 0. And now if we play it, we have a very good shatter effect. So we drag the marker till somewhere right here, till the music finishes. So we play it and we see the effect right here.
Are you ready for the rope? Are you ready for the rope?
Let's increase it a bit. The music file, something like somewhere like that, to 126. That value is very important, as we are going to split the music file again later on, so that we have the second part exactly as the remaining music file. So we have the shatter effect somewhere like that. We can increase it a little bit more, and we have to drag. Let's make it till the music file, and we have to drag the text layer so that it matches the length of the music file. So we have this effect right here. Now obviously we have to have it reversed, because we don't need it. We don't need it like this, but in reverse. So just right click, go to time, and time reverse layer, and now we have the effect that we want. From pieces it goes to one whole word. Now, as we can see, the text is not complete. Right here it has some cracks. Let's increase it a bit to see. Okay, so to cater for that thing, just copy just increase the length a little bit. Go to where the text is whole, and split by pressing Ctrl Shift D, and here you split the text layer and it is as a whole. So now you can select this layer and delete the shatter effect as well, and obviously you can reverse it again. So obviously it doesn't make sense to reverse it or do something like that, but now we have a complete shatter effect. Just drag this right here, and as we play it, let me increase this length, we have a complete effect. So that is done as well. Let me save it into the desktop and name it Dubstep intro. Sorry, I have the folder named like that, so name it Dubstep intro video, and that is saved. So let me change some things right here. Now the next thing is to make some cool effects, as we saw, like the pumping and with the beat, some things like that. So first of all, let's add an adjustment layer. So go to layer, select the composition, go to layer, new, and select adjustment layer. It is an empty layer, and now we have to add some things in it. So first of all, we are going to add a magnification effect. So right magnify, and the distort, under the distort section you have the magnify effect. Just drag it onto the adjustment layer. You will have that panel. Now we have to add the fast blur effect as well, and we add the fast blur as well. So the next thing is to change some things in the magnification. So change the magnification to 100 and the size to 741 size. Now the next thing is to do some things. Now first of all, press Alt and select this stopwatch right here near the magnification, and it will turn the value to red. And do the same thing to the blurriness in the fast blur section. So you will have this change right here. That is nothing to worry, just we will deal with that later. So the next thing, as we can see, is to add some blur in the beginning of the text. So select the first layer of text, go to transform, add a fast blur effect to the text layer right here, and we have the shatter effect. We can close it down, and we have the blurriness right here. So go on to the first in the beginning and select the stopwatch and change the blurriness to 36. Then go in the end, exactly in the end, at the end, and change that to 0. So now we have a simple blur effect. Let me reduce this value to 30, or a little bit more, change it to 21, something like that. Yes, let me change it to 20. So change that to 20. Now we have also to include the logo, so drag the logo here. It is a very simple logo. I just found it and add it right here. We have to make it a little bit smaller, something like that. Drag the marker till the end, so that we know if the logo is in place or not. So we close that down somewhere upon there. So put it there, and you obviously can increase the size by pressing the shift key so that it keeps the proportion. So something like that. Now obviously we have to make some effects on the logo, so go to transform. Now we have to deal with the scale and deal with the opacity. So select the stopwatch slider of the both effects. So after some few seconds, the opacity first of all the opacity is 0, and after some few seconds the opacity is 100, so that it doesn't appear exactly, although it is a very small time, it doesn't appear exactly at the beginning. Now the scale, leave it like that, and here somewhere right here we write again 63.1, so that it keeps the same size. Or we can delete this. Yes, we can delete that and put a stopwatch right there, only a keyframe, sorry, not a stopwatch. And here, when it closes down, we put a 0 size on it, 0, not 7, so that it doesn't appear. So it closes down with the text, as we can see. So we have this effect. Now the next thing is to add obviously those pumping things. Now to do that, we have to go onto the adjustment layer again and go here on the magnification. So first of all, write 100 right here where you have the expression plus, and here you will have ignore that error because we obviously have an invalid expression. Now select it again right here. You have this little square light right here. Just press it and drag it. Sorry for not telling you. So before you press that little swirl, just go to the audio amplitude and press U, and you will have this slider because it is very important. Just press that swirl right there by obviously selecting the expression, and drag it onto the slider, and you will have this expression almost complete, because now we have to add a small thing just after all the code. Just write times asterisk and write 0.5, something like that, so that, as we can see, we are having the magnification effect happening, and it is quite good.
Are you ready for the rough?
So the same thing goes to the fast blur right here, but do not add the 100 plus. So drag the swirl onto the slider, and we have that, and make times 0.1, so that we reduce the effect on it.
Are you ready for the rough?
Something like that. Exactly. Now, as we can see, we have that
Are you ready for the rough?
good effect
Are you ready for the
happening
rough?
as we want to.
Are you ready
That's
for the
it.
rough?
Okay, obviously we stopped the music right there, but that's not a problem, because we are going to do the same thing in the second composition. So the last thing is to add lens flare. So to do that, go to layer, new solid, make the background black, and press OK. Put it under the adjustment layer, and also under the text. Now we just have to go to right click on the layer, go to effect, generate lens flare right there. Now we change the lens type to the last one, 105mm prime. The flare brightness, make it to 0 right there. Sorry, first we have to place it, so somewhere like that. The y is 0 and the x, sorry, the x is 0. Something like that. So we make it in the top part. Now the flare brightness, as you can see, is coming up with the beat as well. So right click on the lens flare as well. We can change that layer to lens flare. Right click, go to blending mode, and change it to overlay. Sorry, and change it to, let me see, to darken, to add, okay, and change it to add.
Are you ready for the rough?
Now we have to go to the flare brightness and press Alt and press the stopwatch, and we have the same thing right here as well. Sorry, go undo it, and change the flare brightness to 0 first of all, then press Alt and the stopwatch, and we are going to do the same thing by pick whipping the, sorry, open the slider again and pick whip the slider, and we have that effect.
Are you ready for the rough?
Okay, and now we have to increase the effect. So go 2 times 1.5, something like that.
Are you ready for the rough?
Let me check.
Are you ready for the rough?
Yes, that is better. Make it times 4. Let me check.
Are you ready for the rough?
Something like that. So 4 is good. Make it times 4 so that we increase the flare brightness. So as you can see, the first part has been done. Now the last thing is to trim the comp area to where we need it to be. That is till the end of the music file. So trim to comp area, and we have the first part.
Are you ready for the rough?
Okay, so the next thing is to add another composition. So go to the project, add another composition and name it part 2. Okay, now here we are going to add the music file again. Go to 126, I think so. Let me check. 125. I think it's 126 though. So go to 126, sorry. Go to 126 right there and press, sorry, first of all remove that part as I told you to in the beginning, because that is very important. I dragged it to somewhere there. Something like that. Let me check if it is exactly the same. Okay, so that is exactly the same. So now go to 126. Okay, press Ctrl Shift D, split it and delete the bottom part now, not the top part, and make it at the beginning. So now we have this part done as well. We trim that a bit, and we have that part. So let's do all the same things for the second part. Obviously I didn't include the second part with the first part together because we are going to add some other lens flares, and we don't have and we don't need them to have the same amount of effect. Therefore we have to create a second part. That's why, because obviously it is a bit more repetitive, but we achieve the result that we want. Now first of all, let's change the audio file to keyframes. So to do that, right, add the bass and treble effect. First of all, change the bass to 100. I'm going to be a bit more faster because obviously this is repetitive work, and change the treble to -100. Now go to animation, keyframe assistant, convert audio to keyframes, select the left and right channel and delete them because we are going to use again the both channels. Now let's add the text. Now that is a bit of a problem because let's duplicate it. And we need that to be, let me cut it and paste it right here. Okay, that is good. Now increase the length of it, obviously, and we have the text exactly as we want to be. just cut it, obviously duplicate the layer right here. We have a small part, duplicate it, cut it, and paste it right here. Now the next thing is to add a background, so we duplicate that as well. So we duplicate it, Control D, cut it, and paste it right here. We make it behind. Now let's add the, let me see, the lens flares. Yes, we add the lens flares and then we do the adjustments. So let's add the lens flare, a lens flare, because we are going to do some effects on one and then duplicate it. So go to new solid, make it lens flare top, name it lens flare top, because we are going to make one at the bottom afterwards. Make it behind the text, change its blending mode, leave it like that for now. Just we have to change some options, so go to the effects, of the we didn't add a lens flare, sorry for that little mistake. So go to effect, generate lens flare, obviously put it on top again, lens flare brightness, make it 0, and change the something like that. Okay, so make it 0. Now the next thing is to add the adjustment layers. Before adding it, just go ahead and press Alt and the stopwatch of the flare brightness, so that we have that thing again, the expression. So the next thing is to blend the lens flare. Go to right click, blending mode, add. Okay, and we have the lens flare. Now we have to add the adjustment layers again. So go to layer, new adjustment layer on top of the other layers, and add a magnification effect again, a fast blur, and now we have to add one more option. So let's change some options right here. The size, make it, let's make it 760. The magnification, make it 100. Okay, and now we have to press Alt and the magnification stopwatch, Alt and the blur in a stopwatch, and now we have to add another effect. So go to transform and press Alt and the opacity stopwatch, and we have that as well. So close the adjustment layer effects and now press U, so that only the 3 effects appear. So select the lens flare top and press U also, so that we have the flare brightness, and choose the audio amplitude and press U, so that we have the slider. So we are going to do the same thing. So select this and press and write 100 plus, and then we have to pick whip by pressing this wheel and go onto the slider. Okay, and write times 0.5 in the end. At the end, go onto the fast blur, remove that, the pick whip, and here we write times 0.2. That is done, and now we go onto the opacity, and with pick whip the slider again, and we have the opacity done as well. Go into the lens flare and pick whip the slider again. So I think we have that effect, as we can see. That that effect is generated by the opacity. So we can make the magnification a bit more smaller so that it doesn't right there, so that it doesn't hit the end of the screen. We are going to increase a bit the lens flare now, this time not by 4 but a little bit less. Let's make it times 1.5. I don't know why. Okay, just slide the background a bit more so that it covers all the composition, something like that. Well, I'm going to add to 1.7 a small change. Now we can obviously close all the layers down right here. Let's make the lens flare where it is showing. We select the lens flare top and we duplicate it. We rename that to lens flare bottom, and we have to rotate it by 180 degrees. Press the shift key and just rotate it upside down, and let's play it, and we have a double effect. And we have that effect. Let's make the multiplication a bit less because it is a bit too much, because we have now double the value. So let's change it to 1.4. No. Now we have to trim the comp area, and that is the last thing we are going to do. Something like that. So trim to comp area, all the things are good. Now sorry for saying for telling you to trim the comp area of part 1. Just right click right here, sorry, go to composition settings, and add right here the duration to something like 5 seconds for now to be sure, and then trim it again. So now we have to add the part 2 composition. So go to the part 1 and drag the part 2 right here underneath everything else, and drag the comp 2 to begin exactly after the part 1 has finished. So now if we play it, let it render obviously because of the sound, and we have that effect.
Are you ready for the rough hit? Are you ready for the rough hit?
Let's make it a bit more than 5 seconds because I didn't notice. That is a little bit more. Make it 8. So that is good. Now we have to trim it till the composition ends exactly like that. And now we have all the animation done. What we want to with the shattering effect, the pumping, the logo in the middle.
Are you ready for the rough hit?
The logo in the middle, and this effect on the text. So let's save it, and we have to render it. I think the best format for it is FLV with the audio input. The format option is important to make it 10,000 bitrate so that it is high quality. Go to the best settings, quality best, resolution full, use OpenGL renderer, press OK. We save it like dubstep intro video complete. We save it and we render it. Afterwards, obviously, we'll have the FLV file with the finished video. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and also I think you will use it in your intros. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again.